Biomass One is a company with a unique mission to turn unwanted wood waste into energy. Enough energy that this one facility can handle the energy needs for 20,000 homes. That's 30 megawatts of power. Impressive!
Here we are at one more interesting business in Southern Oregon, Biomass One, a waste-to-energy plant. In fact, more importantly, a bio-waste-to-energy plant.
And these guys specialize in wood products. That means all the slash from the forest floors, all of the construction debris out of a building site. As long as it's wood, this place operates and generates an enormous amount of power.
Andrew, let's go take a look at some of the places I've spent a lot of time in, unloading wood and brush, all kinds of things through the years.
Very exciting, Don. Would you like to show me?
Yes, let's go see it together.
Don.
Don.
Andrew. Don.
Don.
Nice name.
So what's the deal here? I mean, we can see a lot of the raw product. I mean, does it just pile up and pile up?
Well, we let it pile up to a certain point, and then we have a portable tub grinder right there. And then we have an electric hog right there. Most of this will go through that electric hog. Then you have the conveyor that goes across the road. So you got the big green one there. Then you have the conveyor that goes across the road. And right there by the telephone pole, it's dumped on the ground right there, and then it's put up into the big pile across the street.
And if you can see that pile in the background, I am told by very reliable sources that that is enough fuel to keep this plant going, and it powers 25,000 homes for 6 months. Sounds like a very, very good opportunity for me to vent some of my internal rage and actually see some of this mass pummeled and shredded to pieces by that machine.
And I can see you riding a log right over the edge.
Can I have a go at it?
Well, there are some safety concerns, but let me see what I can do.
Sounds good.
Safety concerns, Andrew.
All right, so controls here. The tub in front of me, I'm just going to pump up the power on that a little bit. See that? And you see it spitting out the end there at a hell of a rate. In fact, some of the wood's already burning because of the friction as it goes in that drum is kind of setting it on fire a bit. But look at the volume of this coming out. Unbelievable. Very impressive. That was about 3 tons of waste wooden debris.
So Andrew always gets to have the fun stuff. You know, there he is on his toy, the tub grinder. But this is for the Green Crusader. Let's go have a push. Yeehaw! Look at that scoop! Man, oh man, I think I made a mess out of this pile.
Here's the hog, not to be confused with the kind of hog you put on a barbecue. Believe me. This thing, you can see it here, is depositing all of the material that is then going up this conveyor belt, over a roadway, and then into that enormous pile we saw earlier. If anything metal gets detected along here, a big whack siren goes off.
Bark, for the most part, tons and tons of it.
And the machine completely stops. But you can see some of the size of the logs coming through here are a lot bigger than I thought. And that's okay, because at the end up the ramp here, it gets dropped into another crusher, and all the bigger pieces, of course, become small again. So here it is behind me. This is the end product that goes into the furnace to generate the power. So from here, a series of conveyor belts carries the raw material to a hopper. It drops into the hopper. As it goes through that, at the base of the hopper, there's a thing called an auger, which controls the rate with which the product falls through into the furnace, which of course then fires up the boilers, heats the water. This whole plant is about creating steam, which is where the energy is derived from. But what I want to see, Don, is a turbine. So what you folks are looking at right now is actually a 20,000 horsepower turbine engine, one in fact of 3 you have in the plant, I believe. Yes. For those of you that are not completely familiar with how this works. The steam, and correct me where I go wrong here, Don, the steam comes out of this valve here. At the moment, this is disassembled, so obviously it's not going to function, but it comes through this. On top of this sits almost a regulator, like an, what did you call it?
Throttle.
A throttle, which regulates the amount of steam hitting the turbines. Obviously, when the steam comes out and hits these, it goes through a series of increasingly smaller gaps within the actual blades of the turbine, thus creating pressure and in turn, electricity.
Well, this is horsepower. Electricity is the generator.
Oh.
This is the prime mover.
So from this point, if we were fully operational, what then happens to the steam? It leaves here.
It goes to the very end blade there. There's a condenser right there, so it's cooled and turned back into water. And then it goes back into the boiler, is turned back into steam.
Back into cold water, it just cycles around.
Cycles it around.
So what a day. We've learned how Biomass One is participating in the ecological benefit of our community. Look at the cost associated with producing electricity for you, your home, and your business. This is a green event going on here.
It's fantastic. And this can only get bigger and better. This, in my opinion, 25,000 homes, that is just the beginning.
And cutting down on the forest fire concerns by pulling the slash out of the forest, it goes on and on. It's endless, the benefits for our community.